Vanchakalpataruscha kripasindubhyeva cha patitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatide Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktabinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. It's such an honor to be here with everybody. Thank you very much for joining as we move forward with our assigned service of spreading the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam all over the world. Thank you very much for all the hard work and congratulations to everybody. And today we're going to go through the world maps, and we'll also hear some of the videos that have been created giving a report on how the campaign went. And Shamahini, are you here?
Maharaj, she's here, but she's in an area with low network right now. So I don't know if she can hear us.
Okay. So, Ranjor, let's begin by showing the videos. So we have the reports that come in, and then we'll go through the slide deck.
Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept our most humble obeisances in the dust of your lotus feet. All glories to your divine grace. We are gathered here to offer the results of New Zealand's 2025 Bhadra Purnima campaign, and what an ecstatic adventure it was. Srila Prabhupada, on September 28, 1968 in Seattle, you said, "By the grace of Krishna and the spiritual master, the dumb man can speak like a great orator, and a lame man can cross over a great mountain. So we must have the necessary unflinching faith in Krishna and the spiritual master, and the strength will be supplied by Krishna. After all, anything we experience is but a fraction of the unlimited energy of Krishna. In this marathon we experienced a fraction of Krishna's strength and what may be possible. There were so many highlights, especially seeing devotees distributing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets for the first time, working as a team by joining the BBT calls, learning the best practices, and putting them into action and having success. Seeing devotees distributing sets of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam on the streets to people who had never even seen Srila Prabhupada's books before. It was an ecstatic last few days of the marathon where the BBT slogan, "Assume it can be done," came to life, and we saw devotees going out, catching on to that mood, assuming it can be done, and doing it. Having an enthusiastic advocacy from senior devotees and His Holiness Devamrita Swami and His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Swami, and finally having a yagya on the day, and more people deciding to take Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets home with them. In New Zealand, 9 different teams participated. In Auckland, we had ISKCON Auckland, The Loft, South Auckland Namahata, Brahmacharis. In Wellington, the ISKCON Centre for Culture and Education, and in Wellington, Bhakti Lounge. Also one Grihastha team from Hamilton, and one team from down in the cold South Island, Dunedin. Srila Prabhupada, as we made this offering, we are pleased to report that in New Zealand we distributed a total of 71 full Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets. This is 12 more than the previous year. We would like to thank the BBT marketing and communications team and the One World team for their constant inspiration and support to distribute Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. We pray at the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu to empower us to work together as one global team to spread this Sankirtan movement all over the world. Your servants in New Zealand. Hare Krishna.
What a beautiful offering, Baba Sandi. And congratulations to your whole team, especially caught my ear and notice earlier in the year about how you have new devotees going out, dedicating themselves to the distribution. And this is one of the ways that we're always looking to expand, is more and more people getting involved, a lot doing a little bit, doing such an amazing job of leadership there. Thank you very much for your unwavering dedication to serving Srila Prabhupada in this way. We're all grateful to you. Thank you. And now we're going to move over to our leading indicator country, which is Fiji.
Hare Krishna, dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept our most humble obeisances in the dust of your lotus feet. All glories to your divine grace. We are gathered here to offer the Fiji results of the Bhadra campaign for 2025. It is our 5th year of participation in this transcendental global campaign. Srila Prabhupada, in the 10th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, you have stated that, quote, even at the present moment, everyone everywhere can be happy and free from material tribulations by following Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. There is no need of austerities and penances, which in this age are very difficult to perform. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu has therefore declared, Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. By our Krishna consciousness movement, we are trying to distribute Śrīmad Bhāgavatam so that anyone in any part of the world can be absorbed in the Krishna consciousness movement by chanting and hearing about the activities of Krishna and be free from all material tribulations. Unquote. This year, we set a modest goal of 20 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets. We try to distribute Śrīmad Bhāgavatam through ISKCON Sunday programs, major ISKCON festivals, and our outreach programs, and thus, with the cooperation of our temples and centers, congregational members, including ISKCON well-wishers, we were able to distribute 42 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets. Most of our distribution happened from our Suva temple, which has a large congregation compared to other temples and centers. A few of our highlights were 9 sets being distributed on your Vyas Puja, and 5 sets were distributed on the Bhadra Purnima. Further, we now have some of our members who have become regular participants in the Bhadra campaign. One of the pioneer devotees confided that previously we were distributing 2 or 3 sets in a year, whereas now we are distributing over 30. In our humble opinion, this has been possible by being a small part of the ISKCON One World team, from where we are getting encouragement, inspiration and support. We therefore pray at the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu to empower us in our work together as one global team to spread the Sankirtan movement all over the world. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Jai Fiji, Hare Krishna, congratulations. I love that observation that by working together, we stay enthused. It was one of the lessons that Srila Prabhupada imparted to His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, who very enthusiastically started by running a campaign in a bookstore, which didn't turn out well. And Prabhupada said that's because the books are distributed by the enthusiasm of my disciples. And when we have enthusiasm by association, then anything's possible. And we're seeing that practically, how by sticking together and seeing it as a global project, we're getting more and more enthusiasm and more participation. Yeah, and also the revelation that they started there with just a few sets and thought that was okay for the status quo, but now they're doing 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times that in their enthusiasm. Fantastic. And now we're coming over to Vilas Manjari and Australia.
Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your divine grace. On behalf of Australian Yatra, I would like to present the results of Bhadra campaign for 2025. Here is a Srila Prabhupada's quote. There is no comparison, there is no literature throughout the universe like Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. There is no comparison, there is no competition. Every word is for the good of the human society. If he reads one shloka, his life will be successful. If one shloka, one word, this is such nice things. Therefore, we are stressing so much. Please distribute books, please distribute books, please distribute books. This is from Srila Prabhupada's lecture on 5th of January in Los Angeles in 1974. Our goal this year was to increase the distribution of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam by 20% in comparison to last year. Highlights of this campaign. This year, 13 centers across Australia took part in distribution of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Devotees around the country actively contributed in sharing the resources, ideas and skills and training for the benefit of entire yatra. And also temple management got into it, and they also tried to increase the targets, and they provided more support as well as guidance and training for the devotees. And to highlight a few points, ISKCON West Sydney had two interesting campaigns. One is Swagatam Krishna, where they were welcoming Krishna in the form of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam to their homes, as well as they were knocking the doors and distributing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Also a Tulabharam campaign, Tulabharam books for bricks, wherein the Lakshmi was collected according to the weight of a person, and that Lakshmi was used for book distribution as well as for constructing a new temple. In Hobart, there was a one-man army, but indeed he distributed a lot of Bhagavatam sets in the community events as well as in Bhakti Vrikshas and Hindu temples. He invited devotees over to his programs from other parts of Australia to address and to support and to encourage devotees to take part in this Bhadra campaign. In Perth, a team of devotees very successfully distributed Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, and indeed they conducted festivals for that. Toowoomba, a small center, had the celebration of Bhadra Purnima for the first time, and in Melbourne, who have a large congregation, they got this word out to the congregation mainly through Śrīmad Bhāgavatam classes, and many devotees indeed took part in this campaign. Whereas in Brisbane, 24 devotees took part in the campaign, and they had a very special celebration glorifying Śrīmad Bhāgavatam when Chaitanya Caritāmṛta Prabhu visited there. And now the results. Last year we distributed 705 sets across Australia for Bhadra Purnima. Our goal this year was to increase this by 20%. As we make this offering, we are pleased to report that our goal have been successfully met and surpassed. This year, the Australian team increased the distribution by 35%, distributing a total of 952 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets. I would like to acknowledge the teams that participated all across Australia and the management and the devotees who supported this mission. We pray at the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu and Panchatattva to empower us to build our capacity to distribute these transcendental literatures and work together as one team to help spread the Sankirtan movement across the world. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Wow, what a great presentation from Gopal Vrindesh Prabhu. Outstanding for Australia this year. Seems to be no ceiling anywhere in sight for the Australian Yatra in their increases. Thank you very, very much. And thanks for joining, Rukmini Mohan. We've had just heard the glories of Fiji in your video, and we're celebrating here. And now we have Japan.
Thank you, Vaisesika Prabhu.
Namong Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swaminte Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashantabhishtarine. Hare Krishna, dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my most respectful obeisances under the dust of your lotus feet. All glories to your divine grace. Srila Prabhupada, in this occasion of Bhadra campaign, I remember one sloka. Mahate karjoe tarite pamor nahi kichu karjo tobu jan poroghar. Mahater karjoe tarite pamor nahi kichu karjo tobu jan poroghar. Srila Prabhupada, you are very blissful in your dearest Sri Vrindavan Dham, but you left Sri Vrindavan Dham to fulfill the orders of your spiritual master and deliver the fallen souls all over the world. Srila Prabhupada, the devotees in Japan and Tokyo, we beg your blessings, then we can actively participate in this Sankirtan movement. Srila Prabhupada, this year Bhadra campaign, we had a goal of distributing 25 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets, and we had a slogan that each devotee should at least distribute one Bhagavatam sets. And with your mercy, all the devotees are very active, and we are able to distribute 20 Bhagavatam sets this year, Srila Prabhupada, and we offer the results of book distribution unto your lotus feet, Srila Prabhupada. And we acknowledge the support of the ISKCON temple management in Tokyo and all the devotees who supported this book distribution program. And we beg to your lotus feet and also Mahaprabhu that please empower us to work as one team and participate actively in this Sankirtan movement worldwide. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for that offering from Japan, and congratulations. We've been hearing a lot from Japan lately. They're picking up steam, and hopefully next year they will have their Japanese first canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam in place for Bhadra Purnima. That's our hope and expectation and hope. And now we're going to look at the slide deck to get an overall view of how the world looks from above. First, we have acknowledgement. Go back. I have to give you a signal when to change. Just the fact that we're celebrating Bhadra campaign in 2025 is significant because campaigns sometimes come and go, but somehow this was divinely arranged and it has become an institution unto itself in ISKCON. People affectionately refer to it as Bhadra, and everybody knows what that means. That is a good sign. It means that it's integrated into the fabric of our organization, and it resonates with the hearts of the devotees because everybody knows what Prabhupada sacrificed in order to bring the Bhagavatam forward, and those who read the Bhagavatam know that it's the very means of conquest. And we all read Bhagavatam as it's the first thing we do in the morning every day in every ISKCON temple. And so this is a big celebration, the 25th. Congratulations to everybody. It's the driving force behind our ISKCON organization when we have something worthy to push for and to challenge ourselves. And this is what's happening through Bhadra. We're rising to new levels. And I want to go like this, if you can see me. That means change the slide. By fully concentrating on distributing books for Krishna, one is fully absorbed in Krishna. This is Samādhi. It's a very special kind of Samādhi because it takes courage to present Śrīmad Bhāgavatam to others. It also takes one's own fortification through hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and understanding that it's life-changing. And I've noted that devotees who come into this kind of samadhi improve in all areas of their lives. They become better at their sadhana because they want to be more absorbed. They want to be more effective. They also become more efficient in using their time. Everything good comes from thinking of Krishna, and thinking of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and how to distribute it is not different from thinking of Krishna, but it's very special in the sense that Prabhupada advocates throughout the Śrī Caitanya Caritāmṛta and the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and the Bhagavad Gītā that our main means of pleasing Krishna is to preach. And so this is the ideal way of thinking of Krishna and being in samadhi. This is a famous verse from the 10th canto, and it contains the line, Kriyaso yes tvach charanara vindayo. This is an example of what I just mentioned one slide ago about how Prabhupada advocates constantly for active devotional service. And when he talks about active devotional service, he specifically talks about the distribution of books. And here I'll read. The word kriyaso, meaning by manual labor or by work, is important in this verse. One should engage in practical service to the Lord. In our Krishna consciousness movement, all our activities are concentrated upon distributing Krishna literature. I'll just repeat the last line because it's profound. All our activities are concentrated upon distributing Krishna literature. So if you're concentrating your activities on distributing Krishna literature, you are properly situated. And that was Prabhupada's mood. It is Prabhupada's mood. He left it behind in writing in his purport so we could understand that. When we first started Bhadra, the first 2 years we did 7,000 each year, a little less the second year. And then with a sense of we have to push this forward, we made a vow in 2019 that in 2020 we would distribute at least 10,000 sets of books. And at that point, frankly, it seemed impossible to go from 7 to 10 seemed impossible. What seemed more impossible is when 2020 hit and the pandemic started, it made it seem unreasonable, not just impossible. And we distributed over 20,000 sets in 2020 when the pandemic came. And then the realization that Lord Chaitanya wants us to do this. He's empowering us in any circumstance. It's just up to us to open our minds and hearts to the idea that this can be done. And it can be done on a much larger scale. Therefore, we've set this goal to reach 108,000 sets as our baseline. That's our starting point, because we want to cover the earth with Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So please emblazon this number on your hearts, your minds, and propagate it. That this is what we're going for. We have to have a goal to shoot for, and this is it, 108,000. We're going to do it in 2026. So keep in mind that we were at 7, we thought 10 was impossible, then we went way over 20, and then we kept going from there. How is it possible? Pray to Lord Chaitanya, ask him for a favor. Here's some aerial views from Oceania. We had 2024 score 795, and look what you did, 1,067. Congratulations to Oceania. Sadhu, sadhu. Bravo. Bravissimo. Very nicely done. This is health. This is spiritual acumen in progress. Okay, now we have Far East. Far East, we have 1,091. The 2024 score is 1,316. What we do have this year is Japan adding on. We're missing is Bangladesh, and that's something that we're working on. They made up for a lot of the sets several years ago, but because of politics in the region and difficulty in getting books, they're a little way late. Congratulations to the Far East. Here we are, Africa. Africa's 2024 score was 485, and 2025 they've reported 302. So a slight retreat in that area. India, their score for 2024 was 18,873. They jumped up this year, 27,741. We're looking to them to do a lot more. We're going to be meeting in a few days here in Vrindavan with the leaders of India. We know it can be done. South India, just because of the efforts of one person giving special emphasis, has had a good increase, and all the other regions can too. It's just a matter of putting our minds on the goal. South America score for 2024 was 99, and they did 284. Shamahini, can you hear me? Or Ranchor, what accounts
Yes,
for
Maharaj,
their,
I can hear you.
what's their big jump? Where did it come from?
Maharaj, we have the split of the countries. I think, Ranchor Prabhu, if you have any insight into the split and the change. I think there's more participating countries, but Ranchor Prabhu, can you confirm?
Yes, Hare Krishna. I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but more participation is definitely a big factor. I think generally there was a lot of advocacy over all of South America. I think a lot of these countries, they participate in the Gita Marathon, but for some reason in the past they skipped the Bhadra Purnima campaign. But something inspired them that they could do the marathon, they can do Bhadra Purnima as well. But I think it's worth noting that we should definitely have conversations with the leaders in South America to figure out how they got this almost 300 or the almost 200% increase.
Yeah, next year should be 3,000. No problem. I mean, South America's huge population and the devotees there are stellar. They should have no issue. Plus, they've got the books too. Well, congratulations to South America. Let's put a lot of attention there. We'd like to fill up that whole continent with Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets. Very pious people. Sham Karuna agrees. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. And here's Canada. Canada was down. 2024 was 1,140, and then we had 701. Any comment, Shamahini?
Yes, Maharaj, the increase last year was also in part because of the GKG 5000 campaign, which got many more centers rallied behind it. So right now, the score that this year's score is 701. Thank you.
I recommend that we continue the GKG 5000. I don't think Maharaj would like that. We did 1 year and then we sloughed off. Ranchor Prabhu, what do you think?
Yes, Maharaj. I think this year we were considering it, and it can materialize better a little bit more next year, but we'll definitely place a larger emphasis next year.
Well, I can hear Maharaj speaking in my ear right now. I mean, he would definitely want to continue it. There's no question. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see what we got here next. We have United States. So we had 2024, 7,740. This year we have 7,268. Where were we missing there? Shamahini, anything?
It's also an effect of the GKG 5000. Last year was a huge spike, though the drop off was less than in Canada. So I think that had some of the momentum from that continued, we would have seen a substantive increase, which can, I think, be attributed by the fact that there are a few new centers that participated this year.
Okay, I'm looking at the array of centers. Some of them have 1, 4, 2, 7, 1. And I'm thinking of our leading indicator country, which is Fiji, which started off with 2 or 3, or that was the conception, but now they're doing multiples of that. So each one of these places, we should have Rukmini Mohan contact them personally and say, Fiji is leading the way. Please follow in our footsteps. You ready for that, Rukmini Mohan?
Vishishatu because the messy goodation of such a that's really.
We want to put you out there and have you talk to some of these places. You should be the patron saint of those who are starting from a small number and coming to a big number. We'll contact you later. We need your inspiration. So this is it, everybody. 40,246 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets all over the world. Please celebrate because this is a lot of hard work. Hare Krishna. Congratulations to everybody. And looking down at the scores, North America, 7,969, considering that's where we started with Bhadra years ago, just 7,000. We have Europe, 1,792. South America, 284. Africa, 302. India, 27,741. Far East, 1,091. Oceania, 1,067. And please, let's take just one moment to meditate on, these are not just numbers, they're individual Bhagavatam sets that went out to various people in various circumstances. I want everybody to think right now where they might be on somebody's shelf, in somebody's TP somewhere, wherever it might be. The Bhagavatam sets are there. They're radiating. They may be in schools. They may be in villages. And wherever they are, it's a flag planted for Lord Chaitanya's movement. So this is consequential. We're looking at bigger and bigger numbers all the time, but even one set going out is consequential in the world. What to speak of 40,246. Okay, Rancher, let's see some more of the ta-da! Congratulations. That's not nothing. Okay, onward. We'll look at some analysis, where we're going. Here's where we started. I like that we had a little uptick this year. 2022 was our biggest year on record. And we're going to 100,008 sets of Bhagavatams. That's our baseline to bring all of ISKCON to that level so that, as Prabhupada said, by this process of book distribution, we'll be able to affect in a positive way all the different aspects of our movement. So please meditate on this as the next step up. Think of it in the way that we thought of the 7,000 and how would we get to 10 and we did 24. That's where we're going. Costco. Explain this, Ranchor. This is one of Ranchor's brilliant presentations.
Yes, so Costco operates in 14 different countries. Aramco, which is an oil and gas company, operates in 19 countries. Reliance, a telecom country, operates in 23 countries. And the Bhadra campaign has operations in 41 countries.
Haribo. Very inspiring. Okay, explain this one.
If we took all the volumes and stack them one by one after the other, and in one vertical stack, the height would be 463 times taller than the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world.
Oh. Jai. Now we're moving on to Bhagavad Gītas. Doesn't it strike you as when we get to the Bhagavad Gītas, we go, oh, this is easy. Like anybody could do that. So we want to get a baseline of 5 million. And I want to walk back on memory lane again. When we first started measuring the big way, everyone thought 1 million was like a big deal. People were coming up to me as like, we could do 1 million Bhagavad Gītas in ISKCON all over the world. And now we're sort of casually walking into 5 million. And that's where we want to keep our baseline and never go below. It's kind of like our 16 rounds, at least for the next few years until we find a higher baseline. And this we want to achieve by next year. So whatever enthusiasm you have in your heart for and gratitude for Krishna for saving the world by speaking the Bhagavad Gītā, now's the time to express it. We don't know how long we're going to live, but we do hope that we can live through this marathon and express our gratitude by prolifically distributing Bhagavad Gītā more than we ever have before. We only have up to go, and that's our prerogative based on our leadership, Srila Prabhupada's leadership in the world. So here we have a nice looking graph. Don't you like that? 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, it's all going up. And 2025, we need a 10% increase. And where will that, what will that number be? We want 4.6 this year. 4.6 million Bhagavad Gītas. 2025 goal. You can speak it to everybody. Prabhupada, I blindly follow my Guru Maharaj. I do not know what is the result. So I am stressing on this point of book distribution. He told me this personally. It's so personal. I mean, Lord Chaitanya went to South India. He met the Kurma Brahmin. It was so personal. He told them exactly what to do. Stay home, hear and chant, read Bhagavad Gītā, and teach it to other people. And he took it to heart. And then Prabhupada says everybody can take that same instruction to heart. We're so close to Prabhupada because all of us are here when he was, either we were walking at the same time on the planet when he was, or just a few minutes later, like everybody. We're just here now in this Kali Yuga, and we have this opportunity. So Prabhupada gave these statements. He left them behind for us so that we could gather up our courage and say, this is what I'm going to do with the energy I've been given by Krishna. And he was so humble about following his spiritual master. And then he stressed the point, book distribution. Don't be ashamed of it. It's what Prabhupada wanted us to do. It's what he expressed. And don't let anybody talk you out of it either. Because sometimes people take something off and say it was for another era or something. Nope, not even a chance. This is the era, and this is the time for massive book distribution in the world because, frankly, people need guidance. And where else are they going to get it except from the Bhagavad Gītā and the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam? So just remember Prabhupada, just remember his mood, make it simple, blindly follow my Guru Maharaj. He stressed book distribution, Prabhupada stressed it. We can stress it. And if we stress book distribution and even stress ourselves while stressing it, then we're following in Prabhupada's footsteps. Well, here we are. Take a look. We're the ones who showed up. And this is our lot in life. We have inherited this service, and somehow or other we're holding together, and we have the guidance, wherewithal to work together and keep expanding. Prabhupada gave devotees really hard things to do. We were just talking last night, because I'm here in Govardhan, and we're having a reading session all through Kartik. And last night it came up about the marathon that Prabhupada started for printing the Chaitanya Caritāmṛta. It was a good day to talk about it, because yesterday was the disappearance of Srila Kaviraj Goswami. And it seemed completely impossible, even unreasonable, to take this project that might have taken normally 2 years and say, do it in 2 months. It was like a moonshot. And the devotees came together and they did it. And it was exhilarating and it was life-changing. So we're not exactly on that same schedule, but we can take that kind of spirit that Prabhupada inculcated into us, the urgency of doing this, and rejoice in the fact that we all get to show up and do this together. Let's hear from anybody, any reflections that you have, any points you'd like to make at this point.
I'll share a reflection. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I really liked this point that you made about how Bhadra, as it's affectionately known now, has become a part of the institution. And this year I'm really reflecting on how we've grown over the last 5 years, how devotees have grown, and how this idea, I feel one thing that's really helped a lot, and it's been really key, is this idea of community. And this global book distribution team, with our focuses and our goals and our sharing of resources, has really become a community of its own. I was really thinking about that today, and in Australia, like in all countries, different temples have different cultures and different circumstances. You have big temples with established congregations, you have cities where there's one devotee. But when we all work together as a team, I'm seeing how it's growing every year. This year in Australia, we grew from last year's Bhadra result by 35%. 5 years ago, somebody said to me, I think we were distributing about 250 sets, and someone said, oh, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could distribute 1,000 sets one year in Australia? And this year we distributed 954. So we're getting really close. And I really feel that it's because we feel like a team. We feel like one Australian team. And I saw this year we had Gopa Vrindesh Prabhu present the offering today. And he was personally going out and visiting. He's a senior devotee in Melbourne Temple, a teacher, and really behind the book distribution. And he was going out, he went to Tasmania personally, where there's one devotee, trying to distribute books. And he spoke, put on community events, encouraged everybody to take Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets. And he's also been active in Adelaide, where there's also a small centre, and there's a whole group of youth now that have come forward because of that. And I'm seeing devotees really on our WhatsApp group, sharing resources, really helping each other. And I realize now we've actually become a community of our own and a team, and we really have this sense of team. So thank you so much, Vaisesika Prabhu and all the team, for really promoting this as a collaborative, cooperative team service where we're all focused on goals together and we're all helping one another to do our little bit. I think that's been key. Hare Krishna.
Great observations. And community is giving us that strength to go forward, and also sharing resources. And I loved how you were dreaming about 1,000. There's a line from a musical called South Pacific. It said, if you don't have a dream, how are you going to have a dream come true? And I love that because part of assuming it can be done is that we're not doing it. It's Krishna. And look at what Prabhupada dreamed. And Krishna fulfilled his dream. Think, what if Krishna fulfills your dream? Don't be afraid to dream big and say, okay, what if we were able to do 1,000? What if we were able to do 5,000 or 50,000? Or how about 108,000? Thank you very much. Since you mentioned and you started thanking people, I also wanted to acknowledge and thank the global leaders who have been in the community. I want to thank Shyam Bhakti for collecting and compiling scores for this presentation. That's one of the hardest parts, is getting all the scores together. I want to thank Ranchor for his analyses and for always being enthusiastically engaged in crunching the numbers. He was a godsend, and I'm sure his Guru Maharaj is very pleased with his service. I want to thank Sham Karuna for the maps, who the maps give us this vision from above that is indispensable, and we've seen it before. When we look at our maps, we think, oh, why is there so much empty space? why couldn't we fill in the whole thing? I mean, from the perspective of map, it's like, come on, let's just make it all full of Bhagavatam sets. And Siddharth has been just a champion of the video editing. He's always enthusiastic and he's really expert. Thank you for everyone. Shamahini, do you have any specific things? And let me thank Shamahini for her amazing service that she's been doing for so many years in helping everything. I am amazed at her undying enthusiasm and stalwart participation in everything that has to do with expanding book distribution under the auspices of the MCI. Shamahini, any thoughts? Are you available?
Yes, Maharaj. I just wanted to mention that many devotees have been wondering about the Bhadra Yagya and that we're just finalizing the date. It will be during the auspicious month of Kartik and hopefully at Govardhan in your presence. We will be informing the devotees very soon, so please stay tuned. And the Live to Give campaign is on. The day the Bhadra Purnima campaign finished, the next day Live to Give is on. So we're shooting towards 4.6 million Gitas. Thank you.
Thank you, Shamini. Anybody else like to make a comment before we sign off?
Vaisesika Prabhu, yes, quickly this time, please.
Yes.
Sorry, pardon for being a little bit late. It's Sri Krishna, sorry, Maharaj, Vyas Puja celebration at the temple today. And actually, while watching video, and he was mentioning about Jeev Doya, and he was relating it to book distribution being messy for Jeevas. So this is I just think reflecting on that. Also, Shishika Prabhu, we have just PG is because we have come a part of one world team. It is before we're able to, distribute in larger quantity, opposed to we were distributing, not being a part of this one world team. I think the Param blessings are there for the incidental camps, global incidental campaigns, which is helping us. So I just want to share that.
Thank you, Rukmini Mohan Prabhu. Great to see you. And thanks for bringing up that phrase about Jiva Doya. It is the heart and soul of the pure Vaishnavas, Paraduka Duki. They feel suffering because of the suffering of others. And the highest method of worshiping Krishna, who's within everyone's heart, is to give people transcendental knowledge. There's no better service that one could do on this planet. Thank you. Jive Doy Krishnanam Sarvadharma Sara. This is our battle cry given by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who said that this is the essence of all our practice, is to show mercy to the souls. How? By loudly chanting Hare Krishna. It's the loudest form, distributing books. Okay, Rupa Chintamani, Prabhu, go ahead, and then I'll close.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, and Hare Krishna, dear assembled devotees. Please accept my most respectful obeisances. I just want to thank His Divine Grace, Śrīmad Vaisesika Prabhu, for this initiative, because I remember that a few months back, Jayapataka Maharaj mentioned that he was saved because he got many services from Srila Prabhupada, and that services essentially saved his life. That's what Srila Jayapataka Maharaj was mentioning. So I was thinking that how grateful I am to Śrīmad Vaisesika Prabhu, because he initiated this Bhadra campaign, and for him we get this opportunity to serve, to distribute these Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets. And that essentially actually helped me to personally try to read it through, to try to study systematically, because if we don't study, then essentially we cannot distribute. So I feel so much thankful to Guru Maharaj for this initiative and giving us the opportunity to distribute Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Go Japan. Okay, and last couple of words I'd like to make, which is speak, that is that encouragement makes people move, fan the spark. Like, just encourage the heck out of everybody. When you catch somebody doing something right, appreciate it and take the moment to do that. I was really touched by hearing about your temple, one of your leaders in Australia going to Tasmania, going to one person. And this is where it all takes place, one-to-one, personal. Give encouragement. And that's what we're looking for, is that enthusiastic response that comes naturally when people are encouraged. Okay, so now we're going to close with Shamahi has some special media presentation.
Marge, we can show the pictures. We can put them out later for the devotees, just in the interest of time, and we can show the pictures later.
Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Shishi Gornitai, dear Śrī Giriraj Maharaj, if you so desire, please empower our current team and please help us to expand. And please let us dream big in your service so we can follow in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada, who thought big. And please let us work in such a way that we can come to before him, make an offering that will please him so much that he'll smile upon us and give us his glance. That's all we work for. Thank you very much for considering our request. And please bless everybody who joined the call today, those who couldn't join the call because they were otherwise engaged, those who thought about joining the call, those who forgot and slept through it, that they may be invigorated for the next campaign. Thank you very much. I can't wait to see you all again. Thank you very much for coming. One of these days, we'll all get together in Fiji and have a big program there. Panchakoptarisha, Kripasinabhevacha, Patitanam, Pavanibhyo, Vaishnavibhyo, Anantakoti Vaishnavijay. Everyone agrees with the prayer in whole or in part. Please unmute and say Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Live to give. Big marathon. Think big. Do huge. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare Krishna.